Hey guys, welcome into Cobb's Corner on the Ion College Basketball YouTube channel. I am David Cobb of CBS Sports here to give you a little breakdown of where things stand with college basketball's top freshmen. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through our freshmen of the week for games played January 4th through 10th, and then I'm going to let you know how things are shaking out right now in our 1 through 10 ranking for the season-long race to be freshman of the year in college basketball. So if you're new to CBS Sports, this is a feature that I do every week during college basketball season. And the freshman of the week is not always in the top 10. That was the case last week when Malachi Branham won freshman of the week for his standout performance for Ohio State on the road at Nebraska. He won freshman of the week, but he wasn't in the top 10. He is in the top 10 now this week after another big game for the Buckeyes against Northwestern. But he did not repeat as freshman of the week. This week's freshman of the week goes to Blake Wesley from Notre Dame. He is a 6'5" freshman guard who has absolutely been lights out for the Fighting Irish as of late. And the thing about Wesley is that he's kind of helped turn the entire fortunes of Notre Dame's season around. They started out 3-4, and they lost at Boston College. And if you're following the ACC at all, the Boston College is really down. They're in year one under Earl Grant, and for Notre Dame to start out 0-1 with a loss against Boston College, things needed to change. And it turned out that change for Notre Dame was going to be relying more on Blake Wesley. And the dividends of that strategy really began to pay off this week as Wesley scored 18 in a big win over North Carolina. And then he came back with 22 in an overtime win at Georgia Tech on Saturday. So now Notre Dame is on a 5-game winning streak. And since that loss against Boston College has won 3 straight in the ACC to all of a sudden look like a contender in the conference, which would have sounded ridiculous a month ago. But here's what the difference has been. Blake Wesley started out playing just 21 minutes a game during that 3-4 start. Notre Dame's got a senior-laden lineup. It's a tight rotation. Mike Bray has a handful of veteran players that he really, really trusts. Blake Wesley did well just to crack that rotation in the beginning, but the results were undeniable. And then since that 3-4 start, he's played more and more of a role, up to over 32 minutes a game now, and he's filling it up from all 3 levels. And the thing I think that stands out about his game as well is that he's versatile in what he can do, and that was very much on display late in that Georgia Tech game. He's so good at attacking the basket that he forces opponents to collapse. And Notre Dame has so many good shooters. I mean, they shoot the 3 and rely on the 3 as much as anybody in college basketball. And so when you get a guy like that who can attack the rim, make the defense collapse, he kicks to the corner. This is what he does late in the game against Georgia Tech. He kicks to Prentice Hub. Prentice Hub has all day to shoot, drills a 3 in overtime, and Notre Dame just cruised from there to a big ACC road win. So he is our freshman of the week. Keep an eye on him. This is the first time that he's been mentioned in our freshman watch, but he's overdue. So he's the freshman of the week, and he's in the rankings this week as well. So kudos again to Notre Dame's Blake Wesley. And then now let's get to who's number 1 in the rankings. It's going to be Paolo Banchero. He stays ahead of Jabari Smith. Yes, Duke lost to Miami. The Blue Devils were upset on Saturday. Coach K's first home loss of his final season as coach. But Banchero had a pretty good week. He was really productive against Georgia Tech, had his second double-double of the season in that game. And then he comes back with, I thought, a good performance against Miami. I mean, the big issue that I had with Banchero's performance down the stretch is that he didn't get one of the final shots. So he had that steal where he poked it out from behind, then he ran, caught the pass, dunked. Cameron Indoor was going crazy with like 45 seconds left. Duke was up 3. Seemed like they had all the momentum, and then they kind of squandered it there. They had a couple of chances to tie or take the lead late, and Banchero didn't take either of those shots. And that was a problem for me, that he didn't get one of those looks. I just don't know who else you really trust on that roster other than him in crunch time of a conference game like that in a key situation. I think moving forward, there's something for Duke to learn from that situation. He's got to have the ball in his hands in that moment. And honestly, that's why he's number one in Frosh Watch, because there's nobody else in college basketball, no freshman who is as important to their team, or at least as important to a quality team as Paolo Banchero is to Duke. So Jabari Smith's been phenomenal. He has exceeded expectations, which is crazy when you think about the fact that he was a 5-star prospect and a top 10 guy. But we're seeing him at number 1, number 2, number 3, and a lot of mocks. And that was not a foregone conclusion entering the year. So the only reason Smith is not a little bit closer to Banchero in the race for number 1 is the fact that I still think Auburn would be a really good basketball team even without him, which is a testament to the depth that the Tigers have built and a testament to the number of weapons that they have on that team. But Smith has been number 1 a couple of times already this season, and he's 1 or 2 big games away from overtaking Banchero again. But as things stand now, because of how important Paolo Banchero is to Duke, he's number 1. They just need to give him the ball when the game is on the line. And Jabari Smith is number 2. And then we got Chet Holmgren coming in at number 3. And he's a little bit of a distant number 3, but make no mistake, he's been great. And he's only going to continue to get better as Gonzaga navigates WCC play. So there you have it. Our freshman of the week, Blake Wesley from Notre Dame. Paolo Banchero remains ahead of Jabari Smith at number 1. So check out the full freshman rankings at cbssports.com. It's a weekly Tuesday piece. You see where they all stack up 1 through 10 for the season. See who's new in the rankings each week. And then, of course, a breakdown on the freshman of the week. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.